The sting of betrayal. Hey there, friend. Have you ever felt that gut punch moment when someone you trusted lets you down? It's like you're holding a delicate glass, fragile and shimmering with clarity, and then, crash. It shatters at your feet, scattering sharp pieces everywhere. That sting of betrayal isn't just a fleeting ache. It's a wake-up call. A nudge to sharpen your instincts about who you let into your inner circle. Trust is the invisible glue that holds our relationships together, whether it's the deep bond with a lifelong friend, the teamwork with a colleague, or even that fleeting moment of connection when you share a laugh with a stranger at the coffee shop. It's the thread that weaves through every interaction, giving life to our connections. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves that trust. Some people wear masks, polished and convincing, hiding agendas that don't have your best interests at heart. If you're not careful, those masks can lead you down paths that dim your light instead of lifting you up. Today, we're embarking on a journey together, diving headfirst into the messy, beautiful, and sometimes tricky world of human connections. We're going to uncover 9 types of people who might seem trustworthy on the surface, but could quietly derail your path to a fulfilling life. These are the folks who slip under your radar, charming you with smiles or promises, only to reveal intentions that don't align with your well-being. But don't worry, this isn't about building walls or living in a bubble of paranoia. It's about arming yourself with the wisdom to spot the red flags, to see through the facades, and to protect the peace you've worked so hard to cultivate. We'll lean on the timeless insights of Stoic philosophers, those ancient guides like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, who knew a thing or two about staying grounded in a chaotic world. Their wisdom is like a compass, helping us navigate the twists and turns of relationships with clarity and strength. By the end of this journey, you'll have a sharper lens to see who is truly worth your trust and who is better left at a safe distance. This isn't about judging others or closing your heart. It is about making choices that honor your values and guard your inner calm. Think of it like tending a garden. You nurture the plants that thrive and bring beauty, but you pull the weeds that threaten to choke them out. That's what we're doing here, learning to tend the garden of your life with care. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a warm drink, and let's dive into this with open hearts and sharp minds. We'll explore these 9 types. From the charming manipulator to the toxic cloud, each one a lesson in discernment. Along the way, we'll draw on Stoic principles to guide us, not to cast shadows, but to shine a light on the path to meaningful connections. This is about empowering you to choose relationships that uplift and inspire, while sidestepping those that drain your spirit. Ready to take this step? Let's go together into the heart of trust and wisdom, the power of discernment. Let's start with a simple truth. Trust is like a thread, invisible yet incredibly strong, weaving its way through every interaction we have. It's there in the quiet moments when you confide in a close friend, pouring your heart out over a cup of coffee. It's present when you're collaborating on a project with a coworker, relying on each other to get the job done. It's even there in those fleeting everyday exchanges, like sharing a quick smile or a laugh with someone in line at the grocery store. Trust is the heartbeat of connection, the unspoken bond that makes relationships feel alive and meaningful. But here is the catch. Trust isn't something you just hand out like candy at a parade. It's precious, a treasure that needs to be earned through actions, consistency, and genuine care. Not everyone who crosses your path is ready to carry that weight, and that's where wisdom comes in. The Stoics, those wise souls from centuries past, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, knew this better than most. They taught us that living a grounded life means understanding people's intentions and actions, seeing them for what they are, not just what they claim to be. They weren't about pointing fingers or judging harshly. Their focus was on clarity, on cutting through the noise to make choices that align with your values. For them, protecting your inner peace wasn't just a nice idea. It was sacred, a cornerstone of a life well lived. They saw the world as a complex place, full of beauty and chaos. And they believed that discernment, the ability to see people clearly, was your compass through it all. In this video, we're not here to cast shadows or stir up suspicion. We're not pointing fingers to make you wary of everyone around you. Instead, we're shining a light on patterns, those subtle behaviors, those little tells that can tip you off when someone's not quite what they seem. Think of it like learning to read a map in a tricky, unfamiliar terrain. Some paths lead to vibrant connections that lift your spirit. Others might lead to dead ends that drain you. Our goal is to help you navigate this landscape with confidence, to spot the signposts that show you who is worth your trust and who might be better kept at a distance. We're going to walk through 9 types of people you might encounter, each one a lesson in discernment, a chance to sharpen your ability to see through the surface. This journey isn't about building walls or shutting people out. It's not about living in a bubble guarded and closed off from the world. It's about being smart, staying aware, and choosing connections that nourish your soul rather than drag you down. Picture it like tending a fire. You want to add logs that keep it burning bright, not ones that smother the flames. These 9 characters we'll meet, from the charming manipulator to the toxic naysayer, are like archetypes you'll recognize from your own life. Each one carries a lesson, a chance to practice the stoic art of seeing clearly and choosing wisely. So, let us take that first step together and meet the first character in our story, the one who is a master at painting illusions, weaving a web that's as captivating as it is deceptive. The manipulative mastermind. Picture this. You meet someone who seems like they've graduated top of the class from charm school. Their smile is warm, their words wrap around you like a cozy blanket, and they have this uncanny ability to make you feel like you are the only person in the room. It's like they've got a spotlight trained on you, and for a moment, you feel truly seen. But then something shifts. A flicker of doubt. A nagging sense that something's off. That's the manipulative mastermind at work. These folks are artists, but not the kind who paint on canvas. They're sketching illusions on the delicate fabric of your trust, crafting a picture that looks real but serves their own hidden agenda. They're not here for you, not really. They're playing a game where you're a piece on their board and they're pros at making it look like they're on your side. Think of trust as a pen you hand someone to draw your portrait. In the right hands, that pen creates a masterpiece, a reflection of your true self full of care and authenticity. But in the hands of a manipulator, it's a different story. They scribble something you don't even recognize, a distorted version of you shaped to fit their needs. They're like magicians, waving one hand with a dazzling flourish to distract you while the other slips into your pocket. Maybe they twist a story just enough to suit their goals, bend the truth until you're second-guessing yourself, or tug at your emotions to get what they want. It's tricky because their charm is so polished, their mask so convincing. They might flatter you one moment and subtly shift the narrative the next, leaving you wondering how you ended up feeling so unsettled. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus gave us a secret weapon for spotting these masterminds. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen twice as much as we speak. That's your guide here. Don't just listen to their words. Tune into the silences, the pauses, the things they don't say. Pay attention to the cracks in their story, those little inconsistencies that don't quite add up. Maybe they promise one thing but do another, or their tone shifts when you ask a pointed question. Does your gut send up a flare, that quiet instinct telling you something's not right? Trust it. It's not about being paranoid or seeing shadows everywhere. It's about being a detective of your own peace, staying alert to protect your emotional well-being. When you spot a manipulative mastermind at work, resist the urge to argue or confront them. They thrive on that kind of engagement. Instead, take a page from the Stoic playbook and quietly show them the door. You don't need to make a scene or prove a point. Just step back, reclaim your pen, and don't let them hold the brush to your life's canvas. Your heart, your trust, your peace, they were too valuable to be handed over to someone who's only painting for themselves. As we move forward, let's meet the next character in our story, one who's always armed with a judgment, ready to critique your every move. The relentless critic. You've probably met that person who seems to have earned a PhD in pointing out what's wrong with everything. That's the relentless critic, always ready with a sharp comment, a raised eyebrow, or that infuriating, well, actually, that lands like a jab to your confidence. They've got an uncanny knack for making you feel like you're never quite enough, like you're always one step short of measuring up. Trusting them with your ideas, your dreams, or even your vulnerabilities is like handing your deepest secrets to a bucket riddled with holes. Sooner or later, you're going to get soaked. Their words aren't tough love meant to help you grow. They're a projection of their own insecurities splashed onto you like a bad movie you didn't sign up to star in. It is not about constructive feedback, it is about their need to feel bigger by making you feel smaller. Picture the relentless critic as a self-appointed judge in the courtroom of life, perched high on their bench, banging their gavel with glee as they declare everyone around them guilty. Their criticism isn't just a passing remark. It's like a steady drizzle on your parade, dampening your spirit and chipping away at the trust you place in yourself and others. They're not here to lift you up or guide you toward growth. No, their game is about keeping you small, making sure you stay in a box where their judgments can hold sway. It's exhausting, isn't it? The way their words linger, making you second-guess your choices or doubt your worth. But here's where the wisdom of the Stoics swoops in like a lifeline, offering clarity in the storm. Marcus Aurelius, one of those ancient Stoic sages, dropped some pure gold when he said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." That's your playbook when dealing with the relentless critic. Their words aren't a mirror reflecting your value. They're a window into their own struggles, their own unresolved doubts. Don't let their critiques define who you are or what you're capable of. Your worth isn't up for debate in their courtroom, and you don't need to stand trial to prove yourself. Instead of getting sucked into their game trying to argue or prove them wrong, take a different path. That's where they want you, on their turf, playing by their rules, where they've rigged the outcome to keep you on edge. The Stoic move is to step back, to choose peace over their noise. Picture their harsh words as background chatter, like static on a radio you can simply tune out. Your life soundtrack doesn't need their commentary. It's yours to compose. When you encounter a relentless critic, don't waste your energy trying to win their approval. That's a trap, and they're counting on you to fall into it. Instead, let their critiques fade into the distance, like leaves carried away by the wind. Trust in yourself, in your own journey, and in the strength of your inner compass. You're not here to answer to their judgments. You're here to build a life that reflects your values and your light. Now, let S shift gears and meet someone who S all smiles and charm but might vanish when the going gets tough. The surface-level charmer. Have you ever met someone who lights up a room like a firework bursting across a night sky? They glide through conversations with infectious laughter, tossing out a "how are you?" that feels like a warm ray of sunshine. These are the surface-level charmers, the social butterflies who seem like they're everyone's best friend, flitting from one person to the next with effortless grace. They've got a knack for making you feel special, like you're the star of their show for that fleeting moment. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Not everything that sparkles is gold. Their charm is dazzling, no doubt, but it's often as shallow as a puddle after a light rain. Pretty to look at, but gone the moment you step into it expecting depth. These folks are the masters of the social scene, painting every gathering with camaraderie and easy smiles. They're the life of the party, the ones who know just what to say to keep the good vibes flowing. But those bright smiles and warm words? They might just be masks, carefully crafted to hide a quest for popularity rather than a genuine desire for connection. It's like they're performing on a stage and you're part of the audience they're trying to win over. The Stoic sage Seneca had a gem for this. True friendship is always serene. A real friend doesn't just show up for the applause. They re-there when the curtains close, when the world walks out and life gets heavy. The surface-level charmer, though? They might remember your birthday, send you a cheerful text, or light up your social feed with their charm. But when life gets messy, when the party S over and the real stuff hits, don't to be surprised if they were nowhere to be found. Navigating these charmers is all about seeing past the glitter. Their sparkle can be intoxicating, pulling you in like a moth to a flame, but don't let it blind you. Look for depth, not just dazzle. A true connection isn't built on flashy moments or surface-level pleasantries. It is forged in the quiet, steady presence of someone who shows up when it counts. Think of your relationships like threads in the tapestry of your life. The surface-level charmer offers a shiny, delicate thread that looks beautiful, but frays under pressure. A genuine bond, though. That's the sturdy thread, woven with care and resilience, holding strong through life's ups and downs. The challenge is to seek out those who value depth over breadth, who offer real connection instead of a polished performance. So how do you spot the difference? Pay attention to what happens when the spotlight fades. Does this person stick around when you're not at your best? Or do they drift to the next shiny moment? Are they there for the hard conversations? Or do they vanish when the vibe isn't fun anymore? Don't get swept away by their charisma. Test the waters, look for consistency, and trust your instincts. Choose people who weave strength into your life, not just fleeting sparkles. Now let us shift gears and meet someone who might leave you feeling like you pouring your heart out to a brick wall with no echo in return. The distracted listener. We've all been there, haven't we? You're in the middle of pouring your heart out, sharing a story that means the world to you. Maybe it's a dream you're chasing, a worry that's keeping you up at night, or just a moment you want to relive with someone else. But the person across from you? They're scrolling through their phone, nodding absent-mindedly, their eyes glued to the screen. Meet the distracted listener, the one who's physically there but mentally miles away, probably planning their dinner or chuckling at a meme. It's like you're playing tennis against a curtain. No rally, no back and forth, no connection. Trusting them with your words feels like shouting into a void, your voice echoing back without ever being heard. It's not just frustrating, it's a quiet kind of disrespect that stings. In our world, where screens are everywhere and notifications ping like a never-ending drumbeat, the distracted listener is as common as smartphones themselves. They're the person who seems to be listening, tossing out a vague while their thumb swipes through their feed. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, nailed it when he said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." When someone can't give you their full attention, they are not just brushing off your words, they are missing the chance to build a real connection. And let's be clear, connection is the foundation of trust. If they're more interested in their latest notification than the story you're sharing, what does that say about how much they value you? Why pour your energy into someone who treats your voice like background noise? The distracted listener isn't always trying to be rude. Sometimes they're just caught in the whirlwind of our always-on world. But that doesn't make it hurt any less when you realize your words aren't landing. It's like offering a gift only to watch it sit unopened. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic gem, reminded us, "It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste a good deal of it." That's the key here. Your time, your stories, your heart, they're precious. Don't let them become static in someone else's distracted world. The Stoic move is to value your own words enough to walk away, to save your energy for those who show up fully, ready to listen with their hearts and minds present. So, what do you do when you spot a distracted listener? Don't take it personally. It's more about them than you. But don't stick around hoping they'll suddenly tune in either. Instead, seek out the people who really hear you. The ones who put their phone down, look you in the eye, and engage with your story like it matters. Those are the connections that build trust, the ones that make you feel seen and valued. Your words deserve an audience that's present, not one lost in a digital haze. Think of it like choosing where to plant a seed. You want fertile ground, not a patch where it'll be ignored. Now, let us shift gears and talk about someone who is missing a key piece of the human puzzle, someone whose absence of empathy can leave you feeling more than just unheard. The empathy void. Imagine crossing paths with someone who seems to glide through life as if they've misplaced their empathy compass entirely. They move with a kind of cold efficiency, deceiving others for a quick win, splashing through people's feelings like they're puddles on a sidewalk, leaving a trail of hurt and confusion in their wake. This is the empathy void, the person whose radar for understanding others' emotions is permanently offline, like a radio stuck on static. Trusting them with your heart or your vulnerabilities is like handing a fragile egg to someone who doesn't even know how to hold it gently. It is almost guaranteed to shatter. Their actions aren't just thoughtless. They're a stark reminder that not everyone values the human connection the way you do. These folks operate like they're in a one-person show, where the spotlight shines only on their own goals. The Stoics had a saying that cuts right to the heart of this. What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee. It's a simple but powerful truth. Those who buzz around focused solely on their own gain, with no care for the community around them, aren't just missing the point of connection. They're a warning sign flashing bright red. Trust is a two-way street, built on mutual respect and understanding. But the empathy void is driving solo, speeding past everyone else's needs. Getting too close leaves you vulnerable, like opening your door to someone who doesn't respect your space. Their disregard for others' feelings isn't just a quirk. It is a signal to protect yourself. So, what's the move when you spot an empathy void? It is not about being cold or shutting them out with judgment. It is about safeguarding your heart with wisdom. Keeping your distance doesn't mean you're unkind. It means you're choosing to prioritize your emotional well-being. The Stoics would nod in approval here, reminding us that living with consideration and care starts with the choices we make about who we let into our lives. By stepping back from those who treat your world like a stepping stone, you're not just protecting yourself. You're resetting an example of what it means to live with intention and respect. It's like choosing to walk a path lined with flowers instead of stumbling through thorns. Surround yourself with people who see and feel your world, who listen to your joys and struggles with genuine care, not those who breeze past your emotions like they're irrelevant. Trust is precious, and it should be reserved for those who show up with empathy, who understand that connection is a shared journey, not a solo race. Think of it like tending a garden. You nurture the plants that grow strong and beautiful, not the ones that sap the soil dry. The empathy void might not even realize what they're missing, but you don't have to stick around to teach them. Instead, seek out those who bring warmth and understanding to your life, who make trust feel like a bridge worth crossing. Now, let us turn our attention to the next character in our story. Someone who thrives on getting under your skin, stirring up trouble with every sly word. The subtle provoker. Ever crossed paths with someone who seems to have a knack for getting under your skin with just a few well-placed words? That's the subtle provoker, the master of the sly jab, tossing out comments or smirks that sting like tiny darts you didn't see coming. Each poke might seem harmless on its own, a backhanded compliment, a knowing glance, or a just kidding remark that doesn't feel like a joke. But over time, those little jabs pile up, leaving you irritated, second-guessing yourself and wondering if you're overreacting. These emotional ninjas thrive on stirring the pot, weaving doubts with such smoothness that you might question whether it's all in your head. They're not out to start a fight. They're too clever for that. Instead, they dance around, planting seeds of unease with a smile, making their provocations feel almost invisible. What makes the subtle provoker so tricky is their stealth. They're not loud or obvious like a bully shouting from the rooftops. No, they're clever, operating in the shadows of polite conversation, tossing out quips that hit just hard enough to rattle you but soft enough to dodge accountability. It's like they've made it their job to keep you off balance, to make you feel like you're walking on eggshells around them. But here's where the Stoics come in with a game changer. Marcus Aurelius, with his timeless wisdom, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's your shield against the subtle provoker. Their game is to ruffle your feathers, to pull you into their orbit of doubt and frustration, but you don't have to play along. Your mind is your territory, your fortress, and you get to decide who's allowed to mess with it. The key to handling these emotional ninjas is to recognize their tactics and refuse to engage. When they come at you with their clever quips or that smirk that makes your blood simmer, don't take the bait. Pushing back or arguing is exactly what they want. It's fuel for their game. Instead, channel that stoic calm. Smile, nod, and step aside, letting their words float past like clouds on a windy day. It is not about ignoring your feelings, but about choosing not to let their provocations steer your ship. You're the steady center in their storm, the calm they can't shake. That's real power, not in outwitting them, but in staying true to your own peace. Think of it like dodging raindrops in a drizzle. You don't need to stand there getting soaked. By staying grounded, you're not just protecting your emotional well-being. You're showing the subtle provoker that their darts can't pierce your armor. Surround yourself with people who build you up, who engage with kindness and clarity, not those who thrive on sowing discord. Your energy is too valuable to waste on their games. Now let us shift to the next character in our story, someone who seems perpetually caught in their own rain cloud, dragging their storm wherever they go. The perpetual victim. Have you ever known someone who seems to live in a storm of their own making, where every day is a new chapter in a never-ending saga of woes? That's the perpetual victim, the person who turns life into a dramatic tale of misfortune, with a fresh complaint for every occasion. No matter what happens, they've got a story of how the world has wronged them. Bad luck, unfair treatment, you name it. They wear their suffering like a badge of honor, proudly displaying it for anyone who will listen. But here's the twist that makes them stand out. They rarely, if ever, take steps to change their situation. Complaining isn't just a habit for them. It's their comfort zone, a strange symphony of groans and gripes they play on repeat, pulling in anyone within earshot. It is as if they've settled into the role of the victim and have no intention of stepping off the stage. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius cut straight to the core of this with one of his most powerful insights. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The perpetual victim's troubles are often self-crafted, like a captain who ignores the compass and sails headfirst into a storm, then wonders why the seas are never calm. They have a knack for creating their own chaos, making choices that lead to predictable problems, yet they act surprised when the waves keep crashing. It's not that they don't want better, it's that they're stuck in a cycle where complaining feels safer than taking action. Their narrative becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, where every new day seems to prove their story of hardship right. You might feel the urge to swoop in and help, to offer a lifeboat in their stormy seas, but be cautious. Their whirlpool of problems can pull you in if you get too close, tangling you in their endless cycle of drama. The Stoic approach offers a way to navigate this without losing your own balance. It's about keeping your feet firmly planted on solid ground, even as you acknowledge their struggles. Show empathy. After all, their pain is real to them. But don't let their cycle become your own. Offering help might feel noble, but if they're not willing to adjust their course, your efforts can drain you without changing their path. Your journey is yours to steer, and you don't need to follow their misguided map into the storm. Think of it like standing on the shore, extending a hand but not diving into the waves. By maintaining that distance, you protect your own peace while still showing compassion, a balance the Stoics would applaud. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to grow, who take responsibility for their own paths rather than anchoring you to their troubles. The perpetual victim might not see the way out of their storm, but you don't have to sail with them. Your energy is better spent charting your own course, building connections that lift you up instead of pulling you under. Now, let S turn to the next character in our story. Someone who all smiles to your face but spins a very different tale the moment you turn your back. The double-faced deceiver. Picture someone who's like a chameleon in human form, shifting colors to blend into any moment with ease. That's the double-faced deceiver. They dazzle you with a sparkling smile that lights up the room and words so sweet they could give you a sugar rush. In their presence, you feel like you're the center of their world, wrapped in their warmth and charm. But the moment you turn your back, they're spinning a completely different story. These are the folks weaving rumors, smearing names, and switching from warm laughter to cold betrayal faster than you can blink. It's like they're starring in a drama, except the stage is your life and the plot twist hit harder than any scripted scene. Their duplicity isn't just a slip-up, it's a calculated act, a performance where loyalty is just a prop they discard when the spotlight shifts. The double-faced deceiver thrives on this seamless switch, charming you to your face while whispering half-truths or outright lies behind your back. You might hear through the grapevine that they twisted your words or painted you in a light that feels unrecognizable. It's disorienting, like trusting someone to hold your hand only to realize they'd be let go the second you were out of sight. Their betrayal stings not just because it's personal, but because it shakes the foundation of trust you thought you shared. It's as if they're playing two roles at once, one for you, the other for their own agenda, and you're left caught in the crossfire of their script. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, had the perfect advice for dealing with this type. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. The double-faced deceiver is not that person. Their duplicity isn't just a betrayal, it's a glaring sign to choose better company. Their web of lies and rumors doesn't just threaten your peace, it undermines the honesty that meaningful relationships are built on. Instead of getting tangled in their drama, seek out people who lift you up, who speak truth whether you're in the room or miles away. These are the ones who build you up with sincerity, not tear you down with deceit. Cutting ties with a double-faced deceiver isn't about being harsh, it's about being smart. It's about protecting your emotional well-being, and choosing a life rooted in authenticity over illusion. Think of your relationships like a garden you're tending. The double-faced deceiver is like a weed, pretty at first glance but quick to choke out the growth around it. By stepping away, you're not just clearing space, you're making room for connections that nourish and strengthen you. Trust is too precious to waste on someone who treats it like a game. Choose those who show up with integrity, whose words and actions align no matter who's watching. That's the Stoic way, building a life grounded in truth, not shadowed by betrayal. Now let us meet our final character in this journey, someone who can turn your sunniest days into storms with their relentless negativity. The toxic cloud. Let's wrap up our journey with one final character. The toxic cloud, the person who seems to carry a storm wherever they go, casting shadows over even the sunniest moments. They have an uncanny knack for turning your smile into a frown, leaving a trail of doubt and insecurity in their wake. Picture yourself carefully building a sandcastle of confidence, each grain a step toward believing in yourself, only for this person to come along and kick it over with a wave of negativity. It's not just a one-off comment, it's their whole vibe, a relentless energy that dims your light and makes you question your worth. Trusting them is like handing them a bigger foot to do even more damage, letting them trample over the progress you've worked so hard to build. Their presence is like a storm cloud that lingers, threatening to drench your spirit if you get too close. The toxic cloud isn't always loud or aggressive. Sometimes their negativity is subtle, woven into sighs, complaints, or backhanded remarks that chip away at your confidence over time. They might criticize your dreams, dismiss your efforts, or spread a gloom that makes every moment feel heavier. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus gave us a lifeline for dealing with this type. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That's the key to navigating the toxic cloud. They might be battling their own emotional storms, inner struggles that fuel their negativity. But that doesn't mean you have to stand in the rain with them. You can show kindness, acknowledge their struggles, but keep a safe distance, like handling them with a long-handled spoon, close enough to offer compassion, but far enough to stay dry and protect your own peace. Trust, at its core, is a treasure, not a free sample to be handed out carelessly. It's like the key to your home. You wouldn't give it to just anyone, would you? You'd reserve it for someone who's proven they'll respect your space, who'll treat it with care and integrity. The toxic cloud hasn't earned that key. Their negativity, whether intentional or not, signals they're not ready to hold your trust without causing harm. The Stoic approach here is to keep your boat steady, to surf their waves of gloom with grace and resilience. You can't control their storm, but you can choose how you sail through it, by staying grounded in your own strength and surrounding yourself with people who brighten your days, not dim them. Think of your life like a garden where you choose what to nurture. The toxic cloud is like a weed that saps the soil, stealing energy from the blooms you're trying to grow. By setting boundaries, you're not being unkind. You're tending to your own growth, prioritizing connections that bring light and warmth. Seek out those who inspire you, who meet your positivity with their own, and who show up with respect and authenticity. Trust is a gift, and it belongs in the hands of those who value it as much as you do. Now, as we close this chapter, let's reflect on how these lessons can shape a life built on wisdom and meaningful connections. Trust wisely, live boldly. And so, here we are, standing at the end of our journey through the wild, unpredictable world of trust. We've crossed paths with 9 fascinating characters, each one a vivid lesson in discernment, from the manipulative mastermind with their charming illusions to the toxic cloud who dims even the brightest days. Each encounter has been a mirror, reflecting the importance of seeing people clearly, not just for who they claim to be, but for who they show themselves to be through their actions. But let us be clear, this journey isn't about living in fear or slamming the door on every new connection. It's about embracing wisdom, choosing your relationships with care, and building a life rich with connections that uplift, inspire, and strengthen you. The Stoics, those ancient guides whose wisdom still resonates, taught us to guard our inner peace like it's sacred, to extend trust with intention, and to walk away gracefully when someone's actions don't align with their words. Trust is like a thread in the grand tapestry of your life, delicate yet powerful, weaving together the moments and relationships that shape who you are. The key is to choose threads that are strong and vibrant, the ones that hold your story together with integrity and care, not the frail ones that fray and unravel under pressure. As you move forward, carry this stoic wisdom close. Trust wisely, respect deeply. It's a simple mantra, but it's a compass for navigating the complexities of human connections. It reminds us to be discerning without being cynical, to open our hearts while keeping our eyes sharp. Every person we've met on this journey, from the double-faced deceiver to the perpetual victim, offers a chance to refine that discernment, to build a life where trust is earned and relationships are rooted in authenticity. This wisdom isn't just for you to keep. It's meant to be shared. Pass it along to someone who needs a little clarity, whether it's a friend navigating a tricky relationship, a family member feeling weighed down by negativity, or even a stranger who could use a dose of stoic insight. Spread the idea that trust is a treasure, one to be given thoughtfully to those who show up with respect and honesty. If something in this journey sparked a light for you, maybe a moment of recognition or a new perspective, take a second to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep this wisdom flowing. It is a small way to join a community of people striving to live with intention and strength. And hey, why not drop a comment below? Maybe share those powerful words. Trust wisely, respect deeply. Let them be a beacon, a reminder of the principles we've explored together. This isn't the end, it's a new beginning, a chance to carry these lessons into your everyday life. Keep growing, stay grounded, and navigate this beautifully chaotic world with the confidence of a modern-day stoic. Choose connections that light up your path, not ones that cast shadows. Until we meet again, take care, keep shining, and let's build lives filled with trust that's earned and respect that runs deep.